welcome back to the Imaginary Tavern, episode 3, Icewind Dale. We don't have an actual title for it yet. If you guys think of anyone, and by you guys, I mean the 3 players, because we have no one watching this yet, because we've not even aired it. Oh God, this is so awkward. I hate it. I am Barnaby. I am the dungeon master for this adventure, and going around. I'm not quite sure. Someone say who you are and who you.
I will.
Yeah.
My name is Mark, and I'm playing Pignut.
I will go next because that makes sense. I am Sarah, and I am playing Baskia.
And I am Bing, and I'm playing Topiary Erda.
Yeah, you are. So last time we started off in the Tourmaline mine, the gem mine, with a vision. Pignut watched the destruction of 10 towns in an avalanche, was cradled by eggplant tentacles, which turned out to be a grell, a brain-shaped creature with a beak. Our lovely adventurers destroyed it and rescued or acquired a band of kobolds, Drex, with all their paperwork and the 11 following kobolds, all of which do have names, and are on a lovely post-it note stuck to my monitor, because you know it's gonna come up.
I think we need a reminder of what the names are.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I think
Crack,
so.
Sack, Back, Small, Drill, who's dead, Gee, Lop, Bets,
Gee.
Plop, Nip, Tit, and Lead.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, which one was it? Who was in love with Drill? Was it
Crack.
Crack? It was Crack.
Yeah.
Right.
Famously Crack. Very
Famously
upset.
Crack.
This
Very
episode
upset.
could just be. This episode could just be us asking about their backstory, each one individually.
I'm so here for that.
No. Don't worry about all the planning that I've just done before this. No, it's fine. It's fine. Going out into the snowy tundra, the blizzard had hit Tourmaline, braving the ice and snow. You descended the hill back into town proper, where screams were heard, and on the roll of the dice, the town speaker Orus was found dead in the middle of the street. As you stood there watching the scene, blood spilling out from his body, staining the snow, Pignut, you saw on the back of Torge's wagon, Sefik, smiling, shrugging and waving, a menacing and gleeful look on his face as he disappeared into the storm. So, before we start, Pignut, there was something you would like to do.
Oh yeah, I was just hoping I could retcon something, if it's okay with you, DM. I think, given that the blizzard was going to keep us, like, we're not going to be able to venture back into the blizzard and get back to the mine, which is Pignut's home.
Mm-hmm.
I think before they left for the town centre, Pignut would have tried to collect as many vegetables as he could.
Fine.
And probably would have kept the mold on them this time.
Mhm.
He wouldn't have had time to wash them, so he's going to keep
Okay.
that mold.
Lovely.
Yeah, if that's all right.
Perfect. Absolutely. So, yeah, you've got all your veggies, you harvested your crop. Roll me a nature check for me. Roll a nature check.
That's a 13, but can I do... I'm going to use knowledge from a past life, which is one of my
Okay.
abilities. When making an ability check that uses a skill, you can roll a d6 immediately after seeing the number on the d20 and add a d6 to the check.
So,
I feel like this is something that he might recall something from.
yeah, I
past
think
life.
there is a moment from your tribe where there was a
Can I roll the
gardener.
d6
Yeah, roll the d6. Yeah.
to see?
But there was a gardener who what was your relationship with this gardener who maybe taught you how to harvest and grow vegetables in such a awful environment? Where does this memory come from that kind of hits you suddenly?
My past.
It's just a memory. You've not thought about it before, but you've just had this little moment.
I feel like the memory would be of them like harvesting and gardening limes specifically. So I think maybe it's probably not even within 10 towns or this area, but it would just be on a coast somewhere where there was like a whole grove of lime trees that were grown. And yes, some maybe another Herringon was teaching him how to harvest limes.
Okay. And what did you roll?
Sorry. 16.
16. This is one of your better crops. Definitely. So you get a very good harvest. But still, there's this multicolored oranges, reds, blues, this mold, this dust that is just coating some of these vegetables.
It's multicolored mold.
Yeah. It's got,
okay.
Yeah, different colors to
Lovely.
it. It's quite in a way, it's quite pretty. Lovely. So we jump a little bit in time to the evening of the murder. A large pyre is built in the town square. Most of the wood is transported from the market hall, and the flames lick the sky incredibly high, and a large wooden coffin is slowly placed into the flames. And many people have come to mourn Horus and for the warmth of the fire. Although there is this feeling in the crowd, this unease, as the militia here were quite a 50-50 split on Horus as the town speaker. Some are here just for the flames' warmth and not necessarily to mourn. But Vernon, who is the head fisher, he runs the fishery here, stands in front of the pyre. Now look, as the stand-in town speaker until we elect another one, I would like all of you to put in your nominations, whether they be for yourself or for someone else, to me by the end of the next 10 days. And then this shortish gnomish woman walks up, all dressed in black with a veil, walks up and tugs on his arm to pull him down and whispers something in his ear. No, not the next 10 days, within the next 2 auroras. We need to come together in Tourmaline and ensure that we have good leadership going forward. These are terrible times. But we here in Icewind, we are hardy, and we have many hardships that we face. But we will move past this, and we will ensure Horus's death is avenged. And there's sort of a half not celebration, a half cheer, but there's also, you feel that only half of the crowd is sort of supporting this. But we have much work to do. So go. Enjoy the warmth of the flame. Be hardy. Be strong. And he turns and he walks away with this gnomish woman. But that was this evening. You have the immediate problem of having 11 kobolds. So before this moment, where did you set up with these kobolds?
Come on, Baskia.
Yeah.
I guess we would have had the conversation like maybe as we were walking into town or like just after we'd seen Horus, like at some point the three of us would have had a conversation, probably a little bit away from the kobolds. Look, I know that you both want me to just that they go in my room. I get it. It makes sense. We've only just met these people. How are you two so trusting? Like, I don't like Marta and Clyde are like family. And I'm just going to put a fucking band of kobolds in? Are they like, are we going to come back and they're going to be turfed out of their homes? Why do you trust these? Like, I don't understand where this trust is coming from. I
just couldn't think of anywhere else, really.
The only other thing that I thought, although, I mean, if he's going to be the next town speaker, I guess he's going to be busy, but the fisheries, there's loads of places that they could hole up, like that could be. I just don't know what. How do I know that he's not going to try and turn them out of their home? They can't fight them off.
We could approach Vernon. Perhaps he has inherited the favour. I want to look this Australian.
It's so easy to do.
Oh no!
Just slip right
so much
into it.
Fun.
It's just we should all change our accents. Maybe we're brothers and sisters.
It's all be rabbits.
Yes. No, we should. Oh no, I've done it. We should definitely. Can we just at least pursue another option?
What are you hiding in your room, Baskia?
Look, there's nothing in my room other than possibly Drex, but that's fine because oh no, you can't rely on her either. I was gonna say I could ask her to like look out for them, but she is not the most reliable. She'll probably be just gone.
Excuse me, hello. As Drex sort of walked forward with the cane and sort of, they're kind of like all squirreled in like an alleyway. And you're quite fortunate that most people's attention are around the fire. Although this is probably a little bit pre that, so on the body. And they at the moment, no one has noticed these 11 kobolds which are running around with you. They're all tucked in an alley. And Drex sort of comes out and goes, I would just like to point out that none of us are wearing cloaks, and it is quite cold. There is a blizzard, and unless you intend for us to freeze to death out here, we require these lodgings you have promised us.
To the inn.
Is Vernon around here now? Like, is he?
So Vernon, probably at this point, you could make your way down to the docks, which is where he's most likely to be, pre the fire tonight. I would say, there are several like boat houses across the river, across the lake. And as you said, like the fishery, the sort of big warehouses as well.
Are they warm? Do they have like fires? Are they like working warehouses, which makes more sense, I guess.
The warehouses are more working. I mean, they're definitely more sheltered. And yeah, they probably would have fires. This is a cold place. Like, these places need to be heated. So yeah, they would be braziers and all sorts of sort of ways to heat these places.
Is it a place conducive to work? As in, like, paperwork.
What do you mean? Sorry?
As in, like, he needs to do his work. Is it conducive to that?
As in, will it interfere? Like, I mean, you would need to find somewhere within the warehouses to store them. There's probably like storage cupboards and like back rooms and stuff, and all of the sheds that house all the boats as well.
We just need a desk in a corner, really.
I think we should go and
I
just
see what you mean.
at least see before I just dump 12 things from the mine into their home. Like, I just don't think it's a good idea. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just don't trust people as quickly as you two seem to be able to.
Perhaps Vernon could give them all a job.
Well, yes, exactly, which might be great. Like, that could be how they pay for their lodging. Let's go speak to him really quickly and just see what they can see. And then these guys can just sit around the fire as we go down there. That'll be like, they can come with us and there'll be fire and warmth and
Great.
Okay. So you head down to the fishery. I need a group stealth check at this point as you try and hide these kobolds.
Oh,
I'll make a roll for them as well.
I'm guessing it's been more than an hour or whatever since.
Yes, it would have been.
Yes. Okay. So, okay.
22.
24.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I got a natural 20, but I've got a disadvantage. So 5.
It's as you are squirreling all of the kobolds down sort of various side streets, making your way to the lake, you turn and head down a little alleyway, which is sort of just one street away. And Topiary, you're taking up the rear, and you suddenly hear cunning woman, cunning woman, cunning woman.
Yes.
As the rest of you have ducked around the corner, he sort of rushes up to you, sort of about to sort of follow you all around the corner.
I'll stop. The others can go ahead. And I'm going to just like try and be wise.
Just goes, would you be able to look at my foot?
Which foot?
The left foot. Here. And starts like trying to like untie and pulling off his boot and his sock. And he's sort of like he's this like tiny little old man, but he's managed to get his foot like up near his face, and it's just
I think he needs my help.
His foot is just like caked in like foot fungus and is sort of a little bit sort of gnarled and twisted toes.
Okay.
I've had a limp, and you may have an ointment.
I have a solution for you. You must collect some garlic and some bread and mush it up with a little bit of water in a pot. You must bury this pot near a tree and wait for 3 days, not 2, not 4, but 3. Then you must take out the pot and turn around 3 times, and then stuff it in a sock and put it on your foot. After a day, you must repeat with fresher ingredients.
Right. But like I have a date tonight, and I was hoping that I wouldn't have to limp around.
Well, then you should have come a week earlier at best.
Roll me. I think we need a check to see if this will placate him. So roll me an either deception, a persuasion, or an intimidation.
5. Why are my dice all broken?
No.
He sort of looks you up and down. Cunning woman. You nearly had me there. Bread and garlic in a pot and rubbing it on my foot. You were nothing.
Well, enjoy losing your foot.
And I'm going to leave.
You are nothing but a sham, cunning woman.
And you've got disgusting feet. You'll never get another date again. Or I curse you to have a shitty love life.
His foot, which has been up the whole time, just hits the snow. And he sort of looks quite crestfallen as you disappear into the
My
distance.
verrucas impede upon your other foot.
I'm out of here. I'm out.
As you storm off and catch up with everyone, you find yourself. So you hitting, let's say, Vernon would be at this time, so sort of wibbly wobbly time. This is before the fire in the evening. He would probably be in working, doing ledgers and all that sort in one of the warehouses. There's a back room which he has made into an office. Are you heading there, or are you heading somewhere to hide them first? Where are you going with them?
I think we're going to be able to hide them from him. I think we need to be upfront about
Take them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we'll take them with us.
So like walk up, knock on his door.
Yeah, is he in his office?
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Okay, so you walk up, knock on the door. All of these kobolds huddled around you. You hear come in.
Hello.
They'll pile in.
Baskia, what can I holy
Right.
You've
No, it's okay. Don't worry. There's a lot of them. They're all quite small. She's like 6 foot tall, so I like to think that they're like not even up to her waist. Like,
Yeah, no,
she's
definitely.
Just wait a second, right? We were at the mines. Obviously, you've had a load of miners infiltrate. I don't know why I'm saying infiltrate. Oh, it's been a really long day. I'm so sorry. We've had a load of miners who are here. I know. We went down to the mines to see what the hell was going on. We found these guys who had been like accosted by some hideous like brain thing with a beak, which we sorted out in the mines. They now need a space. So this guy with the wings, I know he's got wings. He thinks he's
Hello, my name is Drex. I am the leader of this merry band of kobolds. We are hoping we could procure a area with warmth and a desk so we may continue our research.
That's all they want to do. And I feel like this is a great place for them. And also, I feel like these kobold guys maybe could be quite useful around here for you as well. Like just, to pay for their board and lodging. Like, I don't know if you need them to patrol or, just to put them to work. I feel like they'll be a good little workforce.
Can I shifty over? And I just want to lean into Vernon and say,
Also, we have solved the mines problem, and I feel that you now, as standing townspeak, have inherited Aura's debt to ours a favour.
Sorry. Stand in town speaker. Oris, what's happened to Oris?
Oh, because it's wibbly wobbly time.
Wibbly wobbly time, so we're back in time.
Thing.
But I quite like
I wouldn't know that then. I wouldn't know he was
okay, fair enough.
town
Recon.
Yeah.
So
I will have worded it that it was like the town now owes a favour. And I let's imagine I just told him Morris has died too. Whoops.
Yeah. Great. Oris is dead.
No, Oris was murdered.
Yeah, we think by that new guy in town today who came with Zorga's cart. He was like wearing a vest. Didn't seem to suffer much from the cold. Zephic, I think his name was.
Right. And he sort of stands up and he goes to, I have things to do. And then he stops and he sees the 12 kobolds again. Can I get a persuasion check with advantage from you, Baskia?
Yes.
Wait, can I just whisper in her ear? I want to believe, like,
you're doing really, really well, Baskia. This is excellent work. I think we're going to definitely have a good result.
and cast guidance.
How novel to get guidance is so exciting. Okay. For context, my previous character was no guidance. I mean, excellent. That was a natural 19 plus a D4. Or I'm actually, let me just again, just in case, and a 2. So I'll take the 19, a D4. That is going to be 21 plus, minus 1, because she's not that persuasive. 20, dirty 20.
20, dirty 20, very persuasive. He goes, sort of like frazzled by the news that the town speaker is dead and that there are 12 kobolds in this room, and they've started to like come into the room and they've started to like climb on furniture and open books and ledgers and starting already to make themselves home. There's a fireplace in one corner and several of them have started to like curl up in little balls. Cracker's there just crying, and he sort of looks around and he says, right, so I need to go speak with Irma, and then deal with Oris, and this I don't have. Baskia, I will leave this in your very capable hands.
Incredible.
Deal with these kobolds as you see fit, until my return and my duties have come back to me. Ensure they stay out of the town proper. I do not know how the militia will act towards kobolds within the town proper until we can address this.
You're a good man, and you're not alone in this. Go and do your thing. I'll sort this out.
Good. Not in here. Find somewhere else. Jesus. And he sort of, well, no, he would say, Oriel. And we'll storm out. So you are now in this room. So sort of time passes and we sort of jump forward into time where, so let's say you have found another area, you've turned it into a makeshift sort of room for the kobolds to reside in for the time being.
And it'd be like the room right next to that room.
Yeah, it's the adjacent room.
You've got his spare bedroom. So they've just got like one nice room with a fire in it.
Yeah.
And a bed and a desk.
Yeah.
I've told them that they have to keep the warehouse safe, so that they have to like patrol a little bit and like, you know, just, and that they're not allowed to leave unless they want to die.
Very good.
And I will try and be as intimidating as possible, so if you need me to roll for that I will, but like, yeah.
I think now these are kobolds from Icewind Dale, so they're quite hardy, they're quite already resistant to cold weather, but they are just piling up like a pile of puppies in front of this fire, all except Drex, who is waits until you leave the room, and as soon as you leave the room you hear the thump of the bag and papers being rifled and pulled out. But in this little interim, and the blizzard, traveling in this blizzard would be extremely dangerous. So although you are welcome to trying to travel through this blizzard at this time would be extremely dangerous. And you all know this. And this blizzard is hopefully going to end in the next day or so. So over this sort of next 24 hours, 48 hours, what do you do?
Well, they're settling in that room. I want to use my Wanderer feature to find food and water for me and 5 others. So if it's available in the landscape, like if it's possible to like, find in the local landscape.
Yeah,
obviously not very far because of the
easily enough. There's the lake with fit like the kind of work stops for a day as rumors fly about what's happened to Oris, many shocked by his death. So very few fishers turn up to fish. So there's these holes in the lake which are just open, so there's fish available. There is the woods nearby with small woodland creatures. So I'd say you are able to gather enough food for everyone.
Sweet.
Actually, roll a perception check for me.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
23. Yes. Finally, some luck.
You find yourself hunting through the woods. Do you take anyone else with you?
Does anyone want to come?
I'll come.
Yeah.
Of course you will.
Yeah. Right, so you spend at what time of day? When do you do this foraging?
Like as soon as they're being shoved into the other room,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and because I want to bring it back to them as they've settled in.
Okay, so this is going to be straight after. So this will be a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So we'll go in. So this is going to be evening time. Okay. Yeah, and you're all going to go. Okay. So as you're all sort of working together to forage, Topiary, your ears pick up the sound of a muffled conversation coming from within the woods. And as you turn, and they've not seen you yet, which gives you enough time, if you wish, to hide, you see one of the priests of the Frostmaiden, same man who is with Horus, and he is talking to someone. A woman, pale blue skin, in matted furs and leathers, but her arms are bare, her chest, the top of her chest is bare. It's more of sort of like decorative kind of armor and shawls that have been thrown, all made out of various animal pelts. And he's there, he says, you hear, the town speaker has died very violently in the center of town, murdered. Where this, I suppose, has taken the town, has affected the town and put things into disarray. Do you hear the woman say, that does not matter to us. What matters to us is that you continue to rally the support of the people for the church. You must keep them engaged, bring them to you, be a place of solace. And better yet, I would warrant that the reason this death has happened is because your town is not following the word of Oriel the Frostmaiden, as other towns are. Perhaps the Frostmaiden is showing her winter's cruelty for your lack of commitment. For was it not Horus who allowed fires to be lit on the night of the sacrifice? Yes, you would be right, I suppose. I suppose I will conduct further prayer meetings. No, not prayer meetings. Targot, town over. They sacrifice, as perhaps you should, not food, but people. Would that not appease Oriel in this moment? A sacrifice of blood and flesh to show true worship.
I'm going to shout out.
Okay, what do you shout?
No!
And you shout no. Both of their heads snap and turn. As they do, the woman shrinks down into a little white raven, pure white raven, flies off into the woods.
I am going to come waddling out to that priest.
This is not the right way. This is not the word of Oriel. This is murder, you suggest.
Cunning woman, please, I did not expect to find you in this wood.
I'm everywhere. I'm always watching.
What?
For your errant steps into human sacrifice. Shame on you, priest.
I am following the will of Oriel.
This is no will of Oriel. What lies? Lies that come out of your mouths. Such cruelty. This is not her will.
And what do you know of the will of Oriel the Frostmaiden? I have not once seen you within the chapel. I have not once seen you on your knees in prayer. I have not seen you once douse a flame in her name.
Your church is no place of Oriel, and I should know, for she is my patron.
And I'm going to cast a spell. Which one?
What are you going to cast?
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame
on him?
At a tree.
Oh,
no, not at him. I'm not some kind of monster. Time to kill priests.
Roll me a wisdom check. Let's see how dramatic this is.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Please be good. Can I cast guidance on myself? I can do this. I can do it.
Yeah, but you say that out loud.
Oriel's will flow through me.
Great. 13.
13.
Pretty bad.
So the tree. What does your sacred flame look like when it hits something? So am I right? Do your eyes go red beneath your hood?
My hood will glow. Something beneath my hood will glow red, and I will reach out a hand, and forward will come a kind of a mixture of red and white and blue flame. You can't tell if it's hot or cold.
Yeah, and it whizzes.
Spiritual.
It whizzes past his head and hits the tree and singes sort of oh God, my language. And it singes a spot in the back, sort of about this size, against this tree. He flinches as it flies past his head. Oriel would not pass on such gifts to one such as you. I have seen the gifts of Oriel first hand. And what you have just done is not of her will, but that of demonic force. And the town shall know of it.
Such lies that come from your mouth, may all your teeth fall out of your head. May your eyes become cloudy and shaded. You look away from the truth. What? May your ears be full of wax. But you do not listen to the word of Oriel.
Could I think Pignut would have, hearing Granny Topes say no and stuff, he would have like gone in that direction, and he wouldn't show himself. He'd be hiding in the shadows, absolutely. When she mentions the voice of Oriel and stuff, and I could see that it's not going in Granny Topes' favor, can Pignut
going fine?
Well, doesn't seem quite convinced. Pignut is going to try and help Granny Topes by telepathically going into the mind of the priest and trying to put on an Oriel voice.
Yeah.
And going and saying something like, "She is my subject. Trust in the word of Oriel."
Nice.
Oriel knows best.
Could you roll me a performance check?
Come on.
Performance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, come on, Pignut. He's got a -2 for this.
Oh, shit.
It's a 3.
As this reaches, he's about to say something to you, Topiary, and he stops and looks at you. More tricks from the devil, cunning woman. You are nothing but a witch.
How very dare you!
This conversation is done.
Yes, well, you best get out of my sight immediately after using the W word.
I shall, and I will make sure that you will never be able to step foot in Tourmaline again. You have my word.
May you step on sharp objects every time you wake in the morning, and may your fingernails turn crusty and fall off.
And he's just walking off out of the woods.
May your eyebrows grow uncontrollably in an ugly manner. May
And
you
Pignut's just going to
strange
say,
smells as much as you want.
Oriel's really disappointed in his head.
He's just walking off. He's
Yeah,
just not convinced by this.
Yeah. I'm going to go up to Granny Topes.
I'm shaking, incandescent with rage.
Oh, Granny, I'm sorry. Sorry, I heard all of that. He had no right to say those things to you.
Very, very cruel he was. This is a terrible thing to happen to this town. The sacrifice of living sentient beings. What kind of barbarians are they? Not, of course, like a cool fighter barbarian. That would be fine, but like some kind of savage. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's not right. But is that true what you said? Is Oriel someone you look up to? Gives you magic?
Yes, for I prayed to Oriel for my vengeance.
Insight check.
And she heard me.
Yeah, you can insight check.
I'm going to insight check it. I am also there. I'm just not saying anything.
What vengeance?
And then Bing, you can roll a deception or a persuasion.
Oh, I get advantage on insight. Excellent.
Do you? Oh, so cool.
What'd you roll?
14. Not
14.
amazing.
Yeah, Bing.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
Mhm.
So can I just tell her?
Yeah. So you seem very genuine. Is that what
Yeah, this is totally what happened.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with this. It's great.
Pignut's going to ask further. Vengeance for what?
Oh, Pignut, very, very terrible thing that happened to me and my sisters. For you know that we used to live together in one of these towns, which I will find out where it was. Cardinival was where we lived on the outskirts, and we used to help them. No, just because they asked, and we were very friendly and wonderful to them. Definitely not creepy or anything in any way. For many years, we aided the people of the village. Why? Simply because they asked, and fair payment took we, and all was well. But men are weak and forgetful of the good done to them, and young men wish to make a name for themselves in confrontation and violence, and old men grieve for power. And so the people of the village who once turned to us for help were turned against us and driven away from our beloved home were we, for they tried to sacrifice us to their false ideas of God.
Oh, so they tried to sacrifice you?
Oh, no.
What about your sisters? They didn't get sacrificed, did they?
Oh, Pignut. I'm going to reach out a little shaking hand to his shoulder.
No, we escaped, for we were tipped off. I shall not say by whom, to protect them. And we left the village, and all of us went in different directions to find a new place to call home. And I thought I had found it here. I was testing it out for 6 months. Seems fair, right? But now there's talk of sacrifice here. This disgusting perversion.
It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. And I think if this is where it's going, I need to warn Marta and Clyde as well.
Mhm.
How
Granny
much
Topes,
power
can you-
does he have?
You go.
How much power does he have?
Who?
The guy from the woods.
Oh,
You
What
asking
I-
me?
I don't think it is maybe not him we should be worried about, but her
The White Raven.
Hmm.
and the mob mentality.
She wasn't
DM.
wearing clothes like Zephyr. I've never seen anyone be so immune to the cold like those two.
They're not from around here, that's for sure. But then how is that possible? Because everyone's from around here. You can't leave. You can't. Why the hell would you come here if you?
Granny,
They're evil.
Can you ask Oriel now? Can you just give her an update on all this and just maybe just ask her if the sacrifice is helping or not?
what?
Pignut, did you listen to a word I said?
Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
And as we close on that scene, you gather the food and things and take them back to the kobolds. I would like to bring
You
in a
little
little
shit.
scene.
Why
you
don't we
two.
let's just sacrifice me again?
Baskia has to walk in between them on the way back. She's like, guys.
Oh, I wouldn't have said that to him. I love Pignut.
Aw.
And as
Even if he
you-
suggests my own sacrifice.
As you are walking back, you
Oh.
walk through, or you can see the center of town where the fire is, the pyre is, and Horus is currently addressing the people of 10 towns. And as
You mean Vernon?
I was gonna say.
Vernon,
Yeah.
sorry, Vernon is addressing the people of 10 towns. And what we don't see is that we sort of come out from the flames and we drift back over to the mines. And what you don't see is that a large mushroom has grown in the entranceway, reds and blues and oranges. Except it's not a mushroom because it grows very quickly and it stands on 2 legs, fungus coming off from the side like a breastplate, long arms, longer than they should be, with spongy sort of talons, 2 eyes sunken deep within its head, and a mushroom cap on the top of its head as it looks out into the snowstorm and starts to descend the mountain and into
Oh!
the woods.
Can I go say hello?
No, this is what you don't see.
Oh, don't see. Oh, damn
you
it.
don't see this.
Oh.
As you're walking back to the fishing place, this has just emerged. This is something that you did not discover, and it disappears
God damn it.
into the wood.
So it's not. It's going into the woods, but is it going towards the town?
No,
Sorry, I'm a bit confused. Is it coming out of the mine?
it comes out of the mine. I mean, you don't know this. This is just
So basically, there's something in the mine that we didn't see when we were in there to deal with has now left the mine and is going rampaging or going to spread peace and love.
Yeah.
so. As you taking this food back to the kobolds, you head back into, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
I would definitely want to go and speak to Marta and Clyde and just see what they're doing. And like if these guys would come with me, then that's great. But if we needed to split, then
No, at this point, I'm not going into town anymore.
fair. So
And I'm
I
going to
will
spend.
go
Sorry,
off. No, that's fine.
Fine.
I'm just going to go off and speak to them.
I'm going to
So-
spend a long time explaining to Pignut why sacrifice is a really bad idea.
Before we, just a point of thing for me, how, like, in terms of the sacrifice that happens in the other town, Targos, thank you. Like, do I know, like, how does that work? Do I know how that works? Just because.
Yeah. I think it's very, so on the new moon, when sacrifices of various sorts happen all around the 10 towns. The ones that sacrifice humanoids, everyone's names get put into a ballot and a name is pulled out. And that person is basically stripped and is sent out into the town where they freeze to death and are taken by Oriel, the Frostmaiden.
It's as hideous as I thought.
So they
Thank
say.
you. Okay, good.
So yeah, as you head in to the inn, in the little sort of reception-y kind of area with there's sort of chairs and tables all set up, and there's a tiny bar, not sort of full enough for a tavern, but there's sort of stuff. You have, you can see, I was going to say Bonnie, but her name is not Bonnie.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde. Marta, thank you. Marta and Clyde. Marta, the willowy sort of early 20s, late teenager, is there behind the bar with sort of, there's a big pots of what looks like a warm soup or like sort of a warm tea that she is spooning into a mug. And as you walk in, she's carrying that over to Drex, who is sat at a table, hands in her head. Yes. Looking quite pale. Yeah.
I will go over and join them at the table, and I'll say to Drex, what's the matter?
Just seeing that your what was his name, Oris, your town speaker, murdered in the street.
You saw it happen?
I saw the body. I didn't see it happen. But it's just shaken me is all. I just,
okay.
What if it was me? What if it was you? And I'm just worried because what if he was right? He was right. I did leave Targos quite quickly because of the sacrifices that were going on there. And I lit that fire. And I heard the stories of fires going off in the woods and Oris being accosted by the priests. And what if the Frostmaiden is punishing those who do not follow her will? What if I am next? What if that was me? Do you know?
This is... I actually can't believe that this is so stupid. Don't let this... Don't buy into this. The reason that this is happening is because the church is fucking nuts. That's why it's happening. It's nothing to do with Oriel. She doesn't want people to die for her. She's just, I don't know what the hell's going on. But it's not that. And it would be, Marta, don't go anywhere. I feel like Marta's probably like bustling. I'm like, no, you stay here.
Yeah, she's like, she was about to put the tea down and then it's like, back and then like,
come and sit down. Look,
would you like tea?
No, not right now.
Okay.
Sit down.
Okay.
It's getting bad. Okay. I've just overheard the priest talking to some random fucking woman in the woods, talking about how they want to make sacrifices here in the way that they do in Targos. That everyone's going to put their name into a fucking hat and do what they do there and go out and be. That is not what Oriel wants. None of this is happening. And I will like grab Trix's shoulders and shake her because Baskia's quite surprised by this reaction from her. Mm-hmm. Like. This is not what she was expecting at all. Yeah. And so she's just like, none of this is to do with you and none of this is your fault. This is all these idiot priests who are doing whatever the fuck they're doing to try and gain power. This is nothing to do with you. The bigger problem, and I need you to focus, there is stuff going on here and it's getting bad. I don't want Marta, I don't want you and Clyde here if this goes down in the way that it does in Targos. You have to leave. You can't stay here. I don't care about the tavern. We'll sort it out. You cannot be here putting your name in a fucking hat to go out there and be killed for no reason. It's stupid.
Marta goes, you want us to leave? But where would we go? This is our home.
I know.
And then Drex goes, we could go to Lonelywood. All of us. It's the next town over. It's I don't know if this is spread there. I don't believe they sacrifice people. I believe they sacrifice food on the new moon. We could go there.
I think that is what needs to happen. I cannot see that this is not going to go the same way as Targos. Like, I've just heard what I've heard. There are people, the Cephalic guy, whoever the hell he is, it's you have to go. Do you have somewhere that you could take them, like a room that you could go to? I will give you, and I'll look at Master and I'll be like, I will give you all the money I have, which isn't much, but I will give it all. You can and then you leave, and I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna sort this out. I'm gonna figure it out. But I cannot focus knowing that your names could be put in a hat at any moment.
What about Clyde? What about Dad?
We can set up a. You must have a cart. Tricks, is there like a cart, like your bird? What's your bird called? I can't remember. Caramel. The caramel must be able to pull the behind. Just.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We'll. Don't worry, Bonnie. Not Bonnie. Mara. Do not worry, Mara. We'll sort this. We'll get you out of here. We'll go. Look, I've and she takes the tea and she downs it and puts it down. I've finished my tea. Do you mind getting me some more? And she sort of nods, and you can see she's playing with this ring, this sort of fox ring that's around her neck. Yeah, and takes the cup and goes over to the other side of the room, and Trix leans in. Cephalic is. You've seen him. Vest, no. He doesn't feel the cold. You've heard of those who are kissed by the Frostmaiden. The Frostmaiden must run within him, must be part of him, must be shaping his will or telling him what to do. That's why he doesn't feel the cold. Because of Oriel.
I just don't think that's true. I know someone who is actually touched by Oriel, and this is not the kind of magic that she has. If something is giving him that strength, it is not her. It's something that's masquerading as her. It can't be her.
Well, whoever it is has a. I've heard stories. This is not the first time that someone has disappeared or died because they have escaped sacrifice.
Well,
people have died like this before for bribing town speakers to have their name removed from the ballot. And I've always heard it's when Cephalic is around.
Why does that not fucking surprise me? Look, I understand that you're scared. I'm scared. I don't know what the hell's going on, but you need please get them out of here, get yourself out of here and take it over. And then you can sacrifice food every month to make sure that you're safe, whatever you need to do, but it cannot be here.
And what about you?
I can't go anywhere. This has gone on for too long. The stuff that I've just seen, she doesn't know I went to the mine, does she? I don't think she knows.
No. You've seen? What have you seen?
There was a problem at the mine. I went to look and we fixed the problem at the mine, I think anyway. There was this weird thing there. Shit, there's stuff that's happening here that is I can't not try and fix it. I wasn't designed to be a fisher, for God's sake. I was designed to do more.
There's a smile. She looks you in the eye. I overheard that Toga, who employs Sefik as a bodyguard, that we're heading back to Targos.
That is very good to know. Thank
She leans
you.
in towards you. He's employed as a bodyguard for a reason. Very good with a blade. But tell me that you're better. Blade or your fists or your feet. Well, I don't know.
My feet.
I see you working out.
I'm great with my feet. Yeah, no, that's how I do it. Like I do with the feet and my sword. It's great. She leans in.
Don't make it weird. Why are you make it weird?
Obviously joking. No. She does do that. She does a joke, but then I'll lean in and kiss her because again, this is like very unexpected. And I will just say, of course I'm better. I'm the best.
You come find me in Lonelywood.
Of course I'm coming to find you, and I'll kiss her again. But please get them the fuck out of here. I can't concentrate. If all of you are here, I need you all safe. I need you to be safe, and I need you to be gone. You know, and then you can give me your room for a change when I come and find you.
I will make sure Mother and Clyde as well look out after, and we will leave as soon as the storm lets up.
Oh, amazing. Okay, good.
And you will be careful. And I will go find a room in Lonelywood that is in need of some cleaning. She stands up. She walks over to the bar. And Mother is there, like eyes down, but like red in the face. Do what you can to make your dad as comfortable as possible. Gather your things. The storm should be let up by morning, hopefully. Then we go. Okay. And she walks off upstairs. And Marta clocks your eyes. And then runs over to you.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you.
I give her a big hug.
And she, as you hold her, she pushes you back. And she reaches behind and she unclasps the necklace and takes it off. And the necklace on the end hangs this little fox ring. She hands it to you and says, I feel like it's always brought me luck. It might bring you some.
I will wear it and not take it off until I see you again.
Right. I will pack up all these potions and things and try and prepare source a wagon or something for my father.
Try and do it quietly. Don't draw too much attention, and you'll come back one day. Just pack light. Just go as quickly as you can.
Okay. And as we close on this scene, Pignut and Topiary, what are you doing?
We're
you back to the kobolds? Are you just still chatting?
Yeah, I put the food out, and I'd like to think that I'm just dropping some eye drops into Pignut's eyes and going,
yeah. And that is why human sacrifice is a terrible thing, Pignut.
But what if we sacrifice Zephic?
I think that would set a terrible precedent.
Okay.
But vengeance is a different matter.
Yeah. Oh, you're so wise, Granny.
Oh, yes. I look forward to my horrible, bloody vengeance. Long have I sought it out and prayed for it.
Hey, what are you trying to get out of, like, information-wise from Drex? What do you suspect?
Shall we find out?
Yeah. You ask him questions, and I'm gonna try and do something from the shadows. I'm really good at that.
I'm going to find Drex, and hopefully he's got all his. So I imagine he's sitting there with all his papers at a desk or something. Or
yeah, exactly that. He's got like a little production line going on. As you open the room, there are still like a handful of kobolds sort of curled up, sleeping, sort of snoring by the fire. But Drex has got all of these papers all over the table. With sort of production line of kobolds there with like needles and threads, and is stitching pages together. And we'll go, no, not that one, you bloody idiot, and snatches it. This one is next, clearly. Can you not see the typography? Oh, just take that one. And as sort of, it looks like they're trying to like stitch a book back together as you enter. And you're bringing in food, yeah?
yes.
Yeah, as soon as you open the door and food sort of wafts in, all of the kobolds sort of dash to you and all sort of are running around you like puppies trying to get into this bag that you've got.
I will just throw the bag to the other side of the room and go and speak to Drex.
Like all of the kobolds go and, and there's sort of various fighting and all sorts. And as the kobolds sort of abandon needle and thread, it's like, well, this is quite inconvenient. We had quite a rhythm going on. May I help you?
Yes. This is very convenient, for now is the time for you to uphold your side of the bargain.
At this very moment, Pignut is going to be like 30 feet away, like with just pretending to be like, make sure you share evenly, everyone. And then he's going to, like, at the side of his eyeball, he's just going to look at Drex. He's going to cast Detect Thoughts on him as Granny is asking him questions.
Okay, and you're just surface thoughts, yeah?
Yeah, just the surface thoughts for the moment.
Okay. At the moment, you're getting, like, this is why you never strike deals. This is why you just take what you want, and you don't have to give back, and I have to share what I'm working on, and it's sort of all this sort of stuff, like just okay. Annoyance.
Well, he can't reach everything at once, so I'm going to reach for a piece of paper, preferably the biggest part of the book where they're sewing it together.
Yeah, which is sort of like on the end of the table, and you snatch it and grab it, and it's you had to go. Oh, you just be careful. This has been many years of work.
How kind of you, Drex, to share this with me. What a pleasure.
And I'm going to have a good read of it, if possible.
Yeah. Roll me. So it's written in common. Roll me a just sort of like a perception check or a history check, just to kind of sort of get a feel of what this book is.
Oof, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
This book, the way it's been stitched, it's got like sections where more pages can go in. He seems to be reconstructing this sort of tome. And you can see that what it's bound in is not the actual cover. It's a cover that has been made. And on the cover, written in common, let me just double check this. It is a book called The Book of Inner Alchemy by the Wren brothers. And it's this, looking over it, it's like the anatomy of a body and the way various energies flow through a body, but it has been heavily annotated, and bits and drawings have been crossed out, and things have been edited and changed, and there's lots of notes in a margin. But it's all sort of a bit higgledy-piggledy. There's like runic signs across it as well. Yeah, that's sort of all you sort of get at sort of a base glance. Are you quite finished? And he sort of will go and try and grab the book back off you.
No, yoink back.
Drex, you were so clever. Could you explain to me what you're up to? Oh, I so love to hear from a learned person.
Roll me a persuasion check.
19.
19. As he starts to speak, in terms of detect thoughts, you're getting like annoyance that he has to go through this. But you're also picking up something else. Can you make this is based on this is a wisdom kind of base spell, isn't it?
Yeah.
So make a wisdom check for me. Or no, make it an insight. Let's make this insight. Make an insight.
Insight. Cool. Come on, insight. 12.
You get annoyance. You also get this. It's like they're annoyed, but they're also thinking about the food and how much they want to eat the food and how hungry they are. And they just want to eat food, but they are also annoyed because they are discussing this book. And what you hear well, this book is the book itself is not what overtly interests me very much. It is a old tome regarding the findings of a gentleman who's exploring the energies that move through a body, and how mind, body, and spirit can all interlink, and yada yada blah blah blah. What is fascinating is this book has been annotated and defiled, which usually I would absolutely abhor. However, this man or person or woman or creature has such a wonderful and exploratory mind of what goes beyond the body and how the energies within you can be used to continue one's existence beyond the means of one's body. They are investigating how to use this energy within arcane practices, and also how this energy can be infused within a type of material, a type of metal, a gem, and how they all interlink together. It is incredibly fascinating.
What kind of gems?
Some sort of vessel that can hold incredible amounts of energies.
Is that why you were after the gem in the mine?
The gem in the mine? I was not after any gem in the mine.
But why else would you be in a mine with a book about gems?
Because where I needed somewhere warm to conduct my research, to restitch this book together, I couldn't just do it out in the tundra. The mine was empty. My comrades, and you're getting, now at this point, you're getting like food. I need food. I need to eat. Give me food. Why can I not get to it? But you're also getting this, why would this creature leave me alone?
Pignut's going to bring over like a portion of the food and be like, here you go. I didn't want you to miss out. You can keep chatting though.
So he looks down at the food and then looks at you and has this discussion like, do you not have anything more refined? I'll put that in a stew or at least a sandwich and a baguette.
Oh, Pignut, it seems he is not that hungry after all.
Okay, I'll give it to your friends. They seem really happy with the food.
And as you sort of take it away, you can hear in his mind, no! But yeah, you're also getting this, why would this woman leave me alone? Perhaps it is time to be rid of her. And Drex says, now, you have discovered and learnt plenty about what I am doing. I wonder if I could ask you a question.
Yes.
This Vernon person who has put us up for the evening, who is he? Is he trustworthy? Will he try and kill us?
I don't know him, do I?
You would have to ask Baskia. Probably not.
I'm going to try and just flick through Can I try and flick through and read these annotations?
He is at this stage visibly trying to he's pulling all the other loose papers together and stacking them. Even
but
with
I
that
have the book, right?
Yeah. But he is now stood and he's walking over to you and he says, he lives in this town that you reside in. Surely you must know something of his intellect, of his wit, of his station. You must at least know his station within the town.
Okay, so as he's coming towards me, I'm just going to do the thing when you like turn around and I'm just flicking through.
Yeah, excuse me, here.
He's a very, very good fisher, I hear. Yes, very, very good fisher, and he manager of men.
What kind of men? What breed of men?
Fishermen, of course.
I'm just going to be trying to read those notes.
Right. He
Elbow.
Yeah, he's going to try and snatch it off you.
Nope.
Can Pignut try and distract Drex by saying, "Oh, there's not much food left over here. Come get it while it's hot."
He completely ignores you. Once again, you hear in his brain, like, nothing else but to devour what this food is. I need to eat. I'm so hungry.
I will say it only lasts a minute, so it's probably gone off by now, the detect thoughts.
Fine. Yeah, roll me another insight check for me.
Come on, Pignut. 19?
After listening to this full movement, this full minute, there is 2 minds here. There is a mind which is annoyed with Topiary and the book and the research. And there is a mind that wants to eat and have food and to
Similar
with the other kobolds.
Similar to the mind, the brain beak tentacle thing that was going feed.
No,
Oh.
yeah, no. They're 2 very different. This has, and I would say you would be picking up the thoughts of like the kobolds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar vibes.
Oh, okay.
So more cobalt than brain with tentacles.
I see. Okay.
And yeah, he ignores the desire for food, at least physically. And yeah, he's going to try and get the book from you. He's going to roll an athletics check. And you can roll an acrobatics or an athletics check to pull it away. So 14 is what you're trying to beat.
21.
As he reaches and like he grabs it, but your strength just rips it out of his hand.
I want to just put my sturdy body in between me and him.
Yeah.
He'd have to like walk around me.
Mm-hmm. He you'll see his hand grab this, like he's got this like back, or he doesn't have the backpack on, but he's got this, the wings that he's got on, which are folded in, are on like 2 straps, and he holds the rope, like this little rope, and he's holding it. He says, I thank you very much for your help in this finding of lodgings. I believe that I've upheld my part of the bargain and told you everything that you needed to know about the book. Now you withhold my work from me. Are you a common thief? Will you not give me back what is mine?
Just friendly curiosity.
Drex, and I'm going to give him the book back. And is there anything that I could like glean from it when I was looking at it?
Roll me another perception or investigation with disadvantage, because he was talking to you. You were trying to...
Eleven. No, wait. 12.
You pick out a name. Iriolathus. Iriolathas. Iriolathus. And as you hand the book back, his hand releases from this little cord that's on the front of his like coat and on his here. And he goes, thank you. Well, that will be all for the time being. I have work we need to do. Surely there must be, it is getting late. You must reside in your places.
Why, yes, I must write to my pen pal, Iriolathus.
When your friend Baskia returns, I would love for you to ask her, or for her to tell me a little bit more about this Vernon character, to make sure that we are safe. Well, goodbye.
Pignut's gonna come over and be like, oh, and especially after seeing like Granny Topes perhaps not treating Granny Topes with lots of respect.
I think that went both ways.
Yeah, I know, but Pignut thinks you can do no wrong. He's gonna like sort of bounce it over and just say, "Oh, you missed out on all the food, but don't worry, I've got something that can make you feel full in no time, full of all the nutrients." And I'm gonna pull out like a purple carrot that's got some of the mold on it, and I'm gonna give it to him and be like, "Honestly, this is all really healthy for you. It'll make you feel full in no time."
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, -2. Come on. 17, so 15.
15. It is so good to see something that is not raw meat or fish, but something a little bit more refined. This is very nice of you. And he takes it and bites into it. Well, We have much work to do here. If you wouldn't mind giving us some privacy.
God, let's just sit in the next room and wait for him to get home.
Yeah.
So, I would say, Baskia, you can return at this point unless there's anything else. Is there anything else you would like to do, or are you just going to wait for him to get home?
What was?
Yeah. So I'd say you all sort of reconvene at this point.
I want to do a little bit of praying.
Mm-hmm.
Just Oriel.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd like to have a look at the skull gem. Do like to see if I can try and understand it, the warmth that I was feeling and the hum
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and things about it.
Yes. Yeah. Sarah?
I need to sidebar with you with these guys not listening real quick.
Secrets!
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Mute your audio. Hello, everyone. What can we do for you?
We'll know in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Baskia returns. While you're checking out the crystal, this crystal, over the next hour, let's say, you spend looking at it. It is a magical item. Attuned to it, it is called a psi crystal, PHI. It is in D&D Beyond.
It is.
It is. However, you might be quite disappointed with its properties.
Oh no.
Why?
Because so when you are attuned to the psi crystal, you have telepathy out to the equal to, there's a little chart and it'll tell you how far it is compared to your intelligence score. And I think it gives you exactly the same telepathy that you currently have. However, it might be called something else, but I will make sure you get it.
Yeah, it's not there, but
you feel, although the properties are the same in terms of sort of where your gift for telepathy came from is the same feeling, the same sense, the same type of magic or energy or whatever it is that gives you your telepathy now. So the telepathy that you have from your feet and the telepathy from this crystal are one and the same. They are the same thing. Not in terms of just mechanically, but on more of where that magic comes from.
Well, Pignut thinks it's like a gift from the the vegetable people. Yeah.
And it has exactly the same feeling as that gift.
This is amazing. He's going to be so thrilled to discover this. Like it's another gift. Like they're looking down, and also he's going to get really excited because it means that if he gives it to Baskia or Granny Topes, then they'll be able to communicate telepathically with me, which would be amazing. And he's going to share that with Granny Topes, and say, Granny, look at this.
Hold on, Oriel, I'll be right back.
You're sorry, Oriel. She'll be right back. Look what this you know how sometimes I can I can speak into the people's heads and things just to really sort of annoy them, I guess. But well this will give you the same sort of power as well.
And you would give this to me?
Oh yeah, because then we can chat, like in secret and stuff. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes. I'm very excited.
Very kind. You have answered my prayers, Pignut, with this gift.
Do you think Oriel and the vegetable gods would get on well?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Well, tell them they said hi, and in your prayers, maybe a shout out to one of the vegetable gods as well, because I think this is from them.
Right, I'll turn back to praying.
Like now, vegetable people say hello. As a continuation, please, Oriel, help me continue to find bloody, cruel vengeance against my enemies. May their eyes boil in their heads. May their bones crack and break for no apparent reason. May their livers become bruised and liquidate from within. Thank you very much. Catch you later. Bye.
And as you finish your prayer, Baskia, you walk in.
I actually hear that.
Yeah, you sing out loud.
Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely brilliant. Hi. Just praying to yep. Praying to Oriel there, are you? What did I miss?
Are you all right, Baskia?
I'm fine. I just had to tie up a few things at home, but I think I've done that now, which is good.
Oh, what like?
Just, I'm worried about this town and where it's going and these stuff that we're hearing about the sacrifice, so I just needed to go and make sure that everyone was going to be okay. So yeah, I think they're gonna go elsewhere.
They're gonna
Oaks
go.
And Pignut, could you both roll perception checks for me?
Damn it.
22.
6.
Pignut, you can see that Baskia now has a necklace. I don't know if you have the
Say a
ring.
hickey.
There was only a little bit of time.
I mean, how long does it take to clean a room, Sarah?
Well, it was the chat started so sexy to begin with, so maybe.
Right. But you can see the ring with the 2 foxes on it. Yeah.
Oh, that's new and pretty. Suits you.
Yeah. It's I'm just keeping it safe.
Do I know if the foxes are like a sign of anything? Like, would they have any kind of meaning in this land?
I mean, they're used. Some foxes are hunted for their thick fur, but generally, no, not outside. The sly fox and sort of maybe their speed out and so their ability, the white foxes to be able, because they're white foxes, they're able to blend in with their surrounding. But no, nothing beyond that. I will say with the 21. You notice that the ring, so it's got these 2 foxes which are like huddled together, almost in like sort of a yin yang kind of style. And the ring is fur, like there's like fine fur across it, and you can see, despite the room being still, you can see the fur it's like it's blowing in a wind.
I've never seen a furry ring before.
Good.
You said it. It's terrible that they have to leave, though. That shouldn't be. People shouldn't have to keep on moving to like towns that aren't going to sacrifice people. Like, it's not. I
know. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I just don't trust anybody now. Like this guy, I don't need to be thinking about that. I just wanted them to go, and then we can figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, we should though, shouldn't we? Feel like we were sort of, it feels like something that we've got to do, right?
I mean, I don't know who else is going to do it if it's not us. Like, I feel like we're in it now.
Yeah, we've got to kill Zephic, yeah?
Yes. Let's just go in. Let's just slay the priests and burn the church to the ground. What a good idea, Pignut.
It's what Oriel would want.
It is definitely. I've got a direct line.
I've got a direct line. I feel like it might come to that, you two nutters, but we should probably figure it out a bit first. How are our people doing in the next room?
What a great question! Let's go see what Drex is up to. He's gonna try and listen at the door and see if with his rigor mortis ear, gonna press it against the door and see if he can hear any.
So you've only been out for about an hour, so you've not probably a little bit less. So it's
okay.
Do you guys tell Baskia what has happened?
Yeah. Full. Also, to see if she knows of the name Erda.
When you say that, she's gonna be like, "What?
Erda.
Area? What? He has the." And she'll take out a book that you've seen her with before, called The Book of Inner Alchemy.
Does it have notes in it?
She will open the book, and there are indeed notes scrawled all over it. And she'll point out a page where you can see that it's the name Erda. And she'll go on.
I was going to say, so if I look at that, does it look like someone's duplicated the notes, or does it look like the same book? Like if I found a page that I'd been looking at and found the same page?
No. So the pages are different. It looks like the book that Baskia has is missing pages.
So this, go on. This
what? Am I intelligent enough to work out if it's this? My brain hurts. It's the same book, but she has some pages and he has some pages.
I will say, and this may help, she'll be like, this fucking book, I've been trying to learn from this book, and not only is it fucking scrolled over, half the pages are missing. And now I'm like, does he have, I don't know how many copies of the same book with the same notes?
What? Explain it. What is it? What are you trying to learn?
I'm trying to be a monk. This book is about how you use energy and how you can use it to protect yourself, protect other people, but also how you can use it to inflict pain on other people if you need to, just the flow and the ebb. But this fucking guy, I found it. You know where I've come from. You know that I used to live underground for a long time, and I found this book, and it's amazing, and it means some of the stuff that I can do I've learned from the book, but I've not been able to get any further with it because of this scroll, and also the fact that half the pages are missing.
But Drex says that it's about prolonging life.
I mean, it kind of is. It's also, I think, probably a little bit the other way as well. It depends. I think I don't want him, I cannot overstate, I don't want him to know that I have this book.
Okay. What about the gems? Is your part of the book the things about the gems?
Does part of the book have anything about gems in it?
Roll me a history check.
Okay. That is a natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah,
20.
there is. You have one section of the book. It's only in one of your pages that pretty much the whole page is covered by this sketch of this gem. And you flip through the page and you show it. It's very similar. It's a blackish gem, and there's notes around it that talks about a purple hue and how energy can be stored in these crystals and then expelled at a later date. Or these gems, it's more of a mineral than a crystal. It's kind of like an onyx kind of thing. And when you see this Pignut, this reminds you of the gem that Sefik gave you. And you pull out the gem that Sefik gave you when he bought that Brussels sprout from you. The sort of the jagged edges, the slight black purplish sheen, the description of it that Irialathus has made in the margins, this is a very similar material.
Oh, I'll share that with everyone.
Can I have a look at this drawn image and the gem that Pignut has and the one that he's given me? Is there anything that I see that is familiar, especially the one that's in the book? Is there anything familiar about that to me?
In terms of from your backstory, is that what you're sort of alluding to?
From my time underground.
Roll. Okay. Roll me a nature or a history check.
Oh. I like cast guidance on myself. Oh, I can do it. I can think really hard. Oh no. 2.
You've never seen or heard of this crystal before.
Really want the other half of this book.
Well, good news is, I may have been a little bit. Well, he had it coming, Baskia. He did. He was treating and he was thinking about Granny Topes in a mean way. He very soon might be stripping off all his clothes and dancing around a fire soon. So maybe that's probably the best time that we can do it, or we can just we can sneak in and just grab the book, or.
Yeah, great.
But is it wrong? This is not upholding my side of the bargain. Well, did I bargain about this? So I didn't say I wouldn't steal his book.
Granny, he was just thinking things like, I've got to get rid of her in his brain when I was listening to him. And while he was talking to you, he doesn't really like you or us, I don't think.
Does that mean that we should sink to his level?
Oh no, I wouldn't want that.
I'm not going to get any further if I don't have the other half of this book.
Well, maybe you should find other skills to learn.
Pick another class.
Yeah, pick another class.
Okay, I'll be a monk barbarian.
How about if I never see you, take the book or with the book? And then for all I know, you have the book, you don't have the book. It's Schrodinger's book.
It could be either. It could be just my book that you know that I have, my half of the book, and it doesn't need to be the other half.
I know nothing of such books.
I'm
going to pray.
I must speak to Oriel about vengeance. Is he well?
I'm going to sit by the fire and just...
Dear Oriel, 'tis I, Topiary Erda.
How long is it going to take for your drugs to kick in?
I don't know.
And as you say that, you hear from the adjacent room. And Vernon, this is probably about midnight by this point. I think by the time you've done this, you've come back, you've foraged for food, you've had the discussions. Yeah. You come back and you hear in the adjacent room, "Stop this madness. You're being utterly ridiculous," as you hear Drax's voice. "Everybody, sit down. Stop this. Somebody restrain him. Restrain him." And then you hear all of... You then hear these kind of screams and yells of all these kobolds going, "Where's Drex? What have you done to him? Save him!" And you hear all of this commotion. You start hearing tables being flipped.
Oh my God.
On all sorts.
We definitely go in.
Yeah.
As you open the door, you can see Drex is stood on the center of the table, wings out, these wooden wings out to full width of the room. You can see all of the kobolds are sort of huddled over in one corner of the room. In the other side, floating about 10 feet in the air, level with the table, level with Drex on the table, is a transparent, ghostly figure. A man in a fine waistcoat, a cane, this bowler hat, and a sort of a long winter cloak down beneath him, pointing at Drex. And this ghost says, "You will stop this ridiculousness, and you'll do as I say. You must. What has happened to you?" And Drex on the table goes, "Ah, I must eat. I must feast. Oh, we're going to run around quickly. Burn it all." As he's going to dive from the table, land on the ground, then sees you. "Food, eat them!" As the kobold that you've known as Drex is going to run towards you. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
What did I do? What did I do?
Am I even gonna? I can hear this, right?
Yeah, I imagine you're all like at the doorway looking into this room.
I'm not. I'm praying by the fire.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What the hell is that ghost? What the? Is he possessed or?
It makes sense now.
Would we have had?
Yeah, he was possessed. That's why he spoke so.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got. Okay, cool.
Would we have had any? I don't think I haven't had any time for a short rest because I'd been up and then I came back and then we were here. So
Shit, yeah.
I've learned anything.
You got 11 hit points.
I would say you've had time. I would have said you had time for a short rest.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Okay.
Right.
so yeah. So
Can we
do whatever
can we
you need to
a-
do for a short rest.
Great.
If I've learned anything from this, it's that taking drugs is good.
Taking drugs
Yep.
is good. There we go.
It works as an exorcism. How many hit
Oh,
dice do we
yes,
have?
please.
Sorry, at this point.
2.
Two. I'm gonna roll both of them.
Yeah, same. Well, I'm gonna roll one. Are you that bad? Well,
I'm at 11 hit points.
I'm back up to full now, which is good.
So I just want to.
But what is full at this level?
Yeah, good point.
19.
That's not bad.
Beefy.
I just rolled 1. 9.
Oh, poo. I can't believe he's like gonna eat us. It's outrageous.
Okay. Right. This is going to be interesting. So let me just roll some dice my end.
Are you deciding who's going to be like, no, they're our friends. They got us this cool room and jobs.
Crack's
Yeah.
like, they were
Yeah.
really kind to me in my hour of need.
Yeah.
We
We'll
learnt their
find out.
names.
Anyone above a 20? 15 to 20.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Oh,
If any of that book gets burned, I'm gonna cry.
that's right. There are loads of other classes to choose from, Baskia.
So true. It's so true.
10 to 15.
Oh, God.
I have
Oh,
very
yeah.
bad initiative.
5 to 10.
6.
7.
Oh, okay.
So 6 was Baskia. Then we had
Pignut.
Pignut.
Pignut is 7.
Yeah.
And what did you roll, Topiary?
3.
3.
Oh, God.
Okay, so we have, so let me get this straight. So we have this room, which is say like 30 by, well, probably a little bit smaller, more like 20 by 20. So it's quite a small room. It's got a desk in the middle, which has just been overturned. In front of it stands Drex. this kobold with his wings extended. In the far corner, you have a huddled bunch of frightened kobolds. We have Baskia and Pignut in the doorway, and we have Topiary in the room opposite. Correct? Fantastic. The ghost is up first, hovering above the room. Says, my dear fellows, thank you so much for returning. Now, this kobold has gone absolutely bonkers, and I need you to rid us of this petulant creature now, so we may continue on with our amicable dealings. If you wouldn't mind flooring that creature.
What? What?
I'm sorry, I've not been entirely transparent with you. I am a ghost. My name is Jonathan. I'm a researcher. Please, we can discuss this later. But in the meantime, this kobold, something has made him go absolutely excruciatingly out of wit and mind, and needs to be put down in this instant. So if you don't mind. That brings us to Drex's turn. The kobold is going to say, his eyes are white, his pupils are dilated. There's like foam around his mouth and snout. And he goes, I am the Lord of the Dragons. I am blessed by the fiery dragons and the cold dragons and the poison dragons, all of Icewind Dale. And they have beseeched me. I don't know what beseeched means, but I must feast. And he's going to lunge towards, let's say, odds evens. That is too shiny for me to tell. Evens. He's going to launch towards you, Pignut. He pulls out a tiny little dagger, and misses. And that's his turn. So you've got this tiny little kobold sort of swinging wildly at you. These big wings are flopping everywhere. As he misses, he turns back to his kobolds and he goes, Kobolds, we feast. Your lord has returned. Let's eat. Baskia, that is your turn.
She's going to look at Pignut and be like, This is what I thought was going to happen in the mine. And then I'll run in to punch it. I feel like, does she want to stab him? She doesn't want to stab him. So I'm not going to draw a sword out. I'm just going to go for unarmed strike.
Okay, so non-lethal, trying to
knock him down. 100% trying to knock him out. I don't want him conscious anymore, but I'm not necessarily trying to kill him, I don't think.
Fine. Roll me an attack.
Cool. Ooh, that is a natural 13 plus 6, probably.
That hits.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then I will do D4. Oh, 4. So 8.
8 points of damage.
Smashy damage. I've got my key points back, which is exciting. So I will spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows.
Lovely.
That's 2, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so next attack is 18 plus
hits.
Numbers. That is 7.
7.
And then final is just a 7 plus 6, so that's 13.
13 just misses.
Ooh, okay, cool.
As you punch twice into this kobold, stumbles back, stunned by sort of what has just happened. He's just pure punch. He's already looking really dazed and about to collapse onto the ground. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's my turn.
Pignut,
I'm just gonna stay with him.
Yeah.
Pignut's gonna call out, back, sack, crack, gee, plop, plop. And name all of them. But don't listen to him. He was possessed. He's just a little bit ill, I think. He just needs to sleep. And then he's going to pull out his broccoli sort of dagger, and then he's gonna pull out a potato, stick it on the end, and then he's gonna whack him in the head. Again, something blunt just to knock him out, as opposed to actually
roll me an attack.
hurt him. Natural 20.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes.
It's a big potato.
I'm going to say you don't even need to roll damage. That is going to knock this kobold out. How does this look?
Oh, it's literally just like right on the head. Maybe like a little lump comes out straight away.
With comic timing, goosh, on the head, the lump comes out. He just falls backwards, doosh, sort of papers fly everywhere. The kobolds scream. Let's see how they react to their leader being clobbered on the head. Attack!
No!
As they are going to
learned your name.
charge for you all. Crack goes, I have already lost one lover today, and will charge towards you all. Anything else on your turn, Pignut?
No, that's it.
Okay. The kobolds are going to act as like little mini hordes, as like little groups. So one group, sort of half of them are going to go to you, Baskia, the other half. They're just going to you, Pignut. They're just going to swarm you. So Baskia, that's going to be, I think there's lots of them, so they get an advantage. So it's going to be a 15 to hit.
Oh, that just misses.
So you've got like 6 kobolds just surrounding you, all swinging daggers, and you just expertly dodging out of the way of them all. And for Pignut, that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yes, it hits.
That hits, and that's going to be, because there is a group of them, that's going to be 8 points of slashing damage. And these kobolds are just slicing into you. For Drill, we will revenge his death. And they're just destroying you.
I didn't kill Drill, you idiot!
I don't know. That brings us to Topiary. You hear chaos.
Oh dear. Okay, I'm going to come up to the doorway.
Mm-hmm. And you just see 12 kobolds just trying to have at Pignut and Baskia. And then you see this very gentlemanly ghost just hovering above them all.
Pignut looks like he's having a bit of a hard time. So I'm going to take a little bit of parchment that's rolled up out of some inner pocket or bag, and I'm just going to plop it into like his pocket or something. And I'm going to cast shield. There'll be a red glow from under my hood, and I'll cast Shield of Faith on him. So a shimmering field will appear and surround him, and grant a +2 bonus to AC for the duration.
Great.
That's
so
a bonus
on top of your normal bonus. So you've got a +3 to your AC. So what's that? 18?
19. Yeah, 18. Sorry, yeah, 18.
Yeah, so I'm
amazing.
Casting that as a bonus action.
Great.
And I'm going to take my stick and hit. It's going to start laying out kobolds.
Roll an attack.
Okay. 24.
24 hits. Are you going for the kobolds that are on Pignut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a 5.
5 points of damage.
Yeah.
Definitely. Are you going for lethal or non-lethal damage?
Oh, I just want to knock them off their feet.
Yeah.
To show them it's a bad idea.
Cool.
If I could like go for sweeps.
Yeah, absolutely. You sweep like 3 of them. Zed, Tit, and Nips just collapse onto the ground, unconscious. So like there's like half a swarm of kobolds around Pignut at the moment. They roll me an insight check.
What, me?
Yeah.
Okay. Insight. 13.
What was that? Sorry.
13.
You notice that a couple of the kobolds that are sort of like wildly slashing falter for a bit and look at each other.
Get back in your corner.
Definitely sort of that hits home on a couple of them. Top of the round, Yarnith goes, excellent, dispose of these my associates, I suppose I would have to call them, and we can go forward and discuss future ventures together and how we may aid one another going forward.
Hate this guy.
He's going to... Yeah, no, not yet. That brings us to Drex, who is unconscious. Baskia, it is your turn.
So I feel like she's keeping the kobolds that are on her at bay by literally like kind of gently just pushing their heads away as they come towards her. She's like, no, what is this? And she'll say to them, kind of in the similar vein to Topiary, just to be like, she'll just say, he's okay. Like he was just not well. We've just taken him down briefly. He's not dead. He's going to be okay. I don't want to hurt you, but I will. Just back off go by the fire. We're going to sort it out. We're going to make him comfy. That was a lot to say in 6 seconds, but essentially that's the vibe.
Yeah,
that's the vibe.
You're saying that. Roll me this will be persuasion or an intimidation, up to you.
I don't think she's great at either. Persuasion. I mean, they're both the same. I don't really use that.
She have advantage because I tried to scare them earlier.
She would have had disadvantage, but now she has just a straight roll. Yeah.
Nice. Come on. 11.
There is like 2 of them just turn to each other. Say Lop and Betts sort of turn to each other. Goes, I do not know if this is an appropriate way to do this. What are these words? I don't even know what appropriate means. The other one goes, yes, well, we are quite hungry, although they have just given us food, so maybe we should. And 2 of them are just having a little discussion as this whole thing is going on. Baskia, what do you want to do for your action, your bonus action?
I guess for my action, I'll just hold. I'll like if it goes a bit weird or they start attacking properly, then I'll start knocking heads together. In fact, that will be the action. If I'll knock 2 of their heads together if it goes a bit south. But basically, at the moment, I'm just trying to like.
You're trying to deflect,
them,
right?
Yeah.
Pignut.
The 3 that are on me still. First of all, Pignut's just gonna like puff out his chest a bit, feeling a little bit more strong or like a bit more secure in his armor, I guess. But then he's going to telepathically talk to the 3 and pretend to be Oriel again and be like, Oriel will freeze you to death if you don't stop.
I think as kobolds, having someone speak into their mind is fucking freaky. So I'm going to say you get roll advantage. I think this is more an intimidation. Yeah, this would be intimidation.
Great, still a -2. Oh, natural 20 for 18.
18. Well, it's still natural 20. Yeah. The 3 of them that are fighting you, just sort of stop and look up to the sky and freeze for a moment. What? Hello? Hey, don't we'll and they sort of just start like slowly moving towards the fire just because it's the source of warmth in this room.
Great. Pignut's just going to go, I knew it. I sound exactly like her. And there, was that an action?
No. We'll just say that's part of your turn.
Okay, so then what? Who's left? Are there some?
So there's a
Baskia?
few still sort of fighting around Baskia.
Okay. I don't quite know what to do. Maybe I'll go over and then just use my potato to knock them onto their just around their ankles to make them fall over.
Okay. Roll me your attack.
A 23.
23 definitely hits.
He's vicious with that potato on.
Over the Achilles heel. 1d4, 3 plus 4, 7.
7. I'd say with a 7, you managed to knock the last 3 that are around Baskia onto their back, sort of knocking them out. The 2 that beside just going, yes, I don't think we should engage in this anymore. Engage? What the hell is engage? And they sort of just move off to the other side of the room.
I immediately am going to try and get all the bits of the book that are, if they're out. Are they out? I don't know if I can see them. Yeah,
there's bits on the table. There's this big sort of stitched version with the fake cover that has been made.
Is it being made is it like copies, or are they stitching together the actual pages?
They're stitching together the pages.
I'm just going to be gathering that up like that.
So we'll say that will be the action you held has now turned into that.
Cool. Okay, great.
Sound?
Yeah.
So as you start to move to do this, Yarnith, hovering above, says, I would find it quite rude and unladylike to start diving into a gentleman's property. If you would please unbear your mitts off my research.
Can I step in?
It is your turn. The kobolds are currently out of combat.
I don't know if there's any way that I can do this away from Pignut. I want to cast Turn Undead on the ghost.
Okay.
You do not belong here, sir.
Oh yeah, because of Pignut, of course.
Yeah. I love it.
No, it's a circle. It's a circumference. It's a radius around you. So yeah.
Let's see what happens. I love it.
We're gonna see how this goes. So I think everyone needs to make a wisdom save. Is that right? Wisdom save 13.
It's my channel divinity.
As an action, present your holy symbol. Each creature you see within 30 feet makes a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails, it is turned for 1 minute. A creature turn must spend its time moving it away from you. It can't willingly move. Yep. It can't willingly move towards you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use dash, and an action try to escape. And if it can't escape, use the dodge action. Cool. So a wisdom saving throw from Pignut, 13. And
I mean, it doesn't say I'm reborn, but it doesn't say Monday. But I love the flavor of it. So
I think let's look at this. Well, we'll say this is what happens this time, but we'll probably.
I'm pretty sure I've been calling myself undead.
That is a natural 20 from Kenneth.
Absolutely outrageous.
That's a 9. So it's just Pignut you've turned. Oh no!
I love it.
So what is it? What happens? Am I terrified of, or is it fear based? Or?
It is. It's turned on it, so it's like this. You get this feeling of this looming creature. Huge.
Can I say that so I'll be casting, and you'll see usually there's a red light that comes from my hood, and it will just spread out from there to encompass you. So it'd be like a red light that encompasses you and gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, cool.
And there is the shadow that is sort of cast, and what elevates this is this huge shadow just extends up the wall of this humanoid figure, up the wall and across the ceiling, sort of arms reaching out from above, like a deity above you is reaching down and trying to grab you.
A little like, you know how rabbits can poop in like perfect circles, just like a little one. just the one pops out.
Yarnath will sort of look around at all of this, say, your trickery, whatever, be it divine or illusionary, will not pierce my resolve. I hope you are not trying to persuade me of anything. Topiary, anything else on your turn?
I'm just going to move closer to the ghost.
Okay. As you move closer to the ghost,
I want to put myself in between him and Baskia.
Fine. As you move in front,
Can I also make sure that I'm turning away from Baskia so I can just pretend I can't see what she's doing?
Cool. As you head up to the to Yarnath the ghost, you see him. What does he do? As you look at him, his face begins to almost like freeze. If a ghost could go pale, he goes incredibly pale, and icicles start to form around his face. He's got like a scruffle of a beard, and icicles come off the beard out of his nose. His eyes widen and sink and go white, and his jaw kind of snaps and opens and falls open as he casts horrifying visage to every non-undead creature. So everyone except for Pignut will need to make a wisdom saving throw. So Baskia and...
So that doesn't terrify him.
That doesn't terrify you. Baskia and Topiary.
16.
16, that is a save.
18, 20, dirty 20.
30, 20, that is a success as well. That is a failure as well. I do not like you. You fail. So you are not scared by the vision.
Thank God.
He then goes, fine. If you will not exude yourself from my presence, perhaps we shall become one. Baskia, it is your turn.
No, thank you.
Thanks, okay, bye.
Thanks so much for including me. No, thank you. She is going to obviously she's going to continue to gather the papers. She's just going to continue to do it. Just completely ignore him. And action, bonus action. I mean, that's not really a thing, but
no, yeah.
And she's not doing any order. She's just scooping them.
Roll me. I think this is probably a sleight of hand check to get as much. The higher the roll, the more you'll get. So let's say before you roll, if it's higher than a 10, you'll get about half of it. If it's higher than a 15, you'll get about 3/4. If it's a 20 or higher, you'll get all of it in one go.
Oh my God, that's cool. Okay. It's +4. Here I go. 7.
As you scramble through it, you start picking up bits of paper, and you're grabbing sort of a good amount, and then you look at it, and this isn't Arthur's hands. This is not the Wren brothers' hands. This is fucking Yarnath's notes that you have grabbed first. So you currently you've picked up all of his notes and holding them. And you go, do you know how long I have toiled over at campfires and in log cabins and in caves to create those notes? Unhand them.
I'm going to squeeze onto them tighter and then prepare to actually gather for the next turn. But I'm going to keep them in my hand.
Cool. Pignut, you know Granny Topes. So there's part of you that is probably a little bit resistant to this turn undead. So can I get another wisdom saving throw from you?
15.
15. So as you go and turn and run, you get about 15 feet out of the room, and then you kind of snap back in. Granny Totes wouldn't hurt you. Granny Totes isn't scary. This must be something to scare the ghost, not you.
Yeah.
And you get your turn back.
Yeah, he's just going to go, oh no, that was so cool. And then he's going to, other 15 to go back to, like, inside the room, I guess. Like, he can't get in between any, I don't know what he can do, actually. I think the only thing he can do, he's going to try and do the Oriole thing to the ghost. Can he? Does the ghost have a brain to actually speak telepathically to?
Yeah. You can speak telepathically to the ghost.
I'm going to say, all your notes were wrong. Oriole's been watching this whole time. You're a terrible note taker. Just give up. Just give up. Find another hobby.
Oh wow!
So hard.
Roll me a persuasion check.
He's terrible at them, which is great. 15 minus 2, 13.
13. So what was their wisdom? 13. So meets it, beats it. So definitely takes pause as he sort of stops and is looking around.
Yeah. This is Oriole, by the way.
And it's going to roll a perception check, I think. Yeah, it's just looking up. God, how does he respond to that? I must leave, get out of this place. This ridiculousness that is going on. Looks down at the three of you. You people. There is nothing you can do. I must find someone else. And it's still your turn, Pignut.
I don't think there's anything he can do. I mean, he'll throw a potato, but like it's probably just going to go right through him.
Yeah,
he's going to chuck a potato.
Yeah, roll an attack. Is this what, like a blunt dagger?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, a D4. Yeah. I'll take the potato off the broccoli knife and go like, leave it alone.
Okay.
Natural 1.
just straight through the ghost and out the other side.
I knew it.
Lovely. Topiary, that is your turn.
I cast Sacred Flame at the ghost.
Is this a wisdom or a dex?
Dex save 13.
That is a 10. Roll your damage.
D8. 5.
5 points of damage to Yarnith. Great. As the flames, this is radiant, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great, fine. He takes 5 points of damage. Anything else on your turn?
No.
Yarnith is going to start floating out of the room and leaving. His notes. Is he going to leave his notes? He starts floating past you, or anyone who wants an attack of opportunity can take it.
Yes.
But he will be going, fine. Take hold of my findings. Keep them in your grasp if you must, but do not worry, I will return, and I will procure them once again from you. Be it through leverage or force, I do not mind. I will see you again. Anyone who'd like to take an opportunity attack may, as the ghost leaves the room.
I'll try and swing a mace.
Yeah, roll an attack.
Baskia is fixated on them, but
I'll he threatened us. I'll throw do the dagger.
Okay.
15.
15 hits.
Oh,
Wow. I got 24.
That hits. Roll your damage.
7.
7.
And I'm going to favorite foe him as well,
Okay.
which I've not used yet. When you hit a creature, you can mark the target as your favorite foe for a minute until you use your con, and you get an extra d4.
D4. What? Just normal damage.
Oh, sorry. Let me see. That the increases the damage that you hit with
Fine.
the,
So it's
with
the
whatever
same
you're
damage as what you
using.
use. Great.
Yeah. Which is the dagger dagger damage. So it'd be 2d4. 4, 7 plus 4, 11.
11. So it's going to be 20. Yeah, both of them go through. Both of them passing, disrupting the form a little bit, but it's definitely resistant to this damage as it just floats by, sort of not really regarding you at all, and floats out of the room and starts floating using its movement and its dash action, and Yana is leaving the fishery. Do you pursue or do you let him go?
Nah. Just let him go.
Okay. So that concludes our combat. As kobolds lie unconscious, the few that were still conscious are now pretending to be unconscious, really badly. Like they keep opening eyes and looking at you as you gather up the notes from this room, reeling from what has just happened. What do you do?
Can I approach? Who would be in charge now? Well, Drex is asleep. Is Crack awake?
If you would like to wake Crack.
I just want to find whoever's the biggest one who's awake. Just find them and be like,
God, let it be bats.
What will you kobolds do now?
What do you wish to do? Stay here or return to the wild?
As you shake Lop awake, who is slightly bigger than the rest.
We will listen to Drex. Drex is our leader. Drex is a speaker of the dragons, a dragon himself. We will follow Drex.
He's going to be
Drex
just
is unavailable right now.
He's going to be high. I'm just going to leave them.
Wait, do you have any more of that food?
Baskia will say, oh God, if we leave them, I think that they'll eat the entire fishery without a leader, because he's now just a kobold again, pointing at Drex. Also, I mean, it should go without saying, she has like scooped all of that stuff up, and I have like put that away and like put it as safely as possible.
We cannot leave them here, because he was talking about burning the place down.
Oh God, yeah, he's not the same. Like it feels like now there's chaos. Now this is what I thought was gonna be without that researcher in him. He's a bit.
And he's gonna Pignut's gonna start talking to the guy that to Lop. Be like, I haven't got. We got our food from the wood. There's probably still lots of food left, but maybe go find somewhere else to stay, because you might not be welcome here anymore.
What if,
because of all the damage you've made?
What if we sleep here for the night and keep an eye on them, and then in the morning they can go when the storm has passed?
I feel bad about putting them out in the storm.
No, yeah,
they've got names.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. As long as you promise to be good.
Lop, what we've only really known Drex obviously for the last 24 hours. Before he became
probably less.
Probably
more like
right.
8.
You are so smart. Before he was like Lord of the Dragons and everything, before he got so smart as well. What was he like as a leader? Was he always your leader? Was he kind? Was he, into books? What was he like?
Now that you mention it, Drex,
he used to like to set things on fire and would like to go and find people like you who travel between the towns and try and take their things, and then we would put them all in a little pile and they would burn them, and then we'll cook things on top of them. And then he decided he would rather like to read and look at humanoidy, people-y kind of things, and it got a little bit boring. But then we went to the mine, which was quite interesting. Drex is a dragon, so Drex must be listened to, and the way of the dragon is mysterious and strange, and must be followed even if Lop finds it quite boring.
I take the wings off Drex. Be like, who wants to be a dragon?
Brilliant.
He goes, "Oh my God, you are trying to kill him. You have de-winged our leader."
No,
And
look, I put them
Lop
back
will,
on.
like run up to you with his little dagger and start trying like slashing.
I'll
it.
like try and stop him before he gets to Pignut.
Yeah, I wanna grab
easily
him as
enough. You like
well.
grab him by the scruff.
Yeah.
No,
Put them on.
Drex.
Put them on, Pignut.
God, put them on. Yes.
Oh, put them on.
You- They're a little. I mean, you're a small creature, so they can't.
Yeah.
They probably fit you the best out of anyone. But yeah, you put on these big dragon wings, and Lop, who's screaming, just stops and
The spirit of the dragon has been passed. Lead us. Lead us.
Baskia's
Drex.
She's gonna get down on one knee as well.
Drex.
Great dragon, tell us all what these brave kobolds should do.
Oh, my loyal subjects. And he's going to start walking around, like, puffing his chest out. Oh, you are very good kobolds because you do as you're told. And right now, Lord... What did he call me? Second Drex?
he said the
Drex
new
number two?
Drex.
The new Drex, King New Drex, commands you to please just go to sleep for now, and we'll come up with a plan of action in the morning.
What an excellent idea, Lord Nudrix. We will sleep.
And then turn Nips, Tit, go to sleep. Who they were
I'm
the two
gonna-
who were pretending to sleep.
I'm going to take my rope and tie up Drex. And God, is there anything lying around like a piece of cloth that I can just shove in his mouth? to
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
show him
easily
up?
enough. Yeah. So as you bed down, we'll sort of, unless there's anything particular you want to do, bed down for the evening, get into your long rest. I'd say partway through the night, you hear noises as Vernon comes back to the fishery. And he opens the door because correct me if I'm wrong, you've made his bedroom is now where you are sleeping. As he opens the door to just see sleeping kobolds everywhere, the desk on one side. Is anyone like awake at watch at this point?
I would have instigated that we did watches because of the fact that
Yeah,
the
I would have liked
research
to
guy
think
was
we would have
like,
cleaned
"I'll be
up.
back."
We're not.
Okay, you've
Yeah.
sort of
Animal
cleaned up, but there's still like kobolds everywhere,
Yeah.
like this stuff everywhere. And he walks in and goes, Baskia, what the hell is going on in here?
Oh, it's been quite a long night. I know this is your bedroom. Do you want to come in? Sorry, I know this is great.
No, I don't want to come in.
Well,
There are 12 kobolds. What? Why is Pignut wearing wings?
It's fine. We're gonna get rid of them in the morning.
It's not fine.
We just had to deal with this. There's been a lot going on. How are you? What's going on with?
Oh,
Boris?
you know, I'm fine. The town speaker is dead. The town speaker is dead. And now I've been instigated, and now I'm the town speaker, and I'd find a new town speaker and hold a lecture in 2 Aurora's time. I'm doing bloody
You
brilliantly.
seem
Oh.
stressed.
By the way, before you leave, my notes are currently behind a passcode. There we go.
You just take your time.
I will, I
Vernon,
will,
you
I will
don't-
take my
You've had a long
time.
day.
By the way, Irma would like to speak to all you. To Topiary.
You are in her ledgers, and she needs to speak with you.
In her ledgers.
Yes, something about a payment needed to be paid.
Okay, great. That's fine. We can do that in the morning as well. Like these will be gone in the morning. There's a whole thing. We just didn't want to turf them up when it was storming.
Keep
Like
saying
this.
there's a whole thing, and there's. You know what? I am going to go to the inn. I'll go to the inn. I'll sleep there. Why not? Just get rid of these kobolds by morning, please.
Will do.
Thank you.
You're the best. Thank you, Vernon.
Yes.
Sorry.
Good night. Yes. Please clean up. And we'll leave you to the rest of your long rest, where you wake.
Could I just mention
kobolds.
something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just think because before he goes to sleep, Pignut's just gonna, if he's got any spell slots left, which he does, he's gonna just take a little time, and he's just gonna rub his hands together, and he's gonna try. He's going to bring a sprig of mistletoe. So he's going to get into his bag, a sprig of mistletoe, rub it in his hands together, and then he's going to create something in his hand, but as if he's plucking it out from the earth, but like obviously nothing there. He's going to, and then he's cast Good Berry, but instead of 10 berries appear, he's going to call it Good Lettuce, and just like a little romaine lettuce with 10 leaves on it, or on it, and he's going to give 3 lettuce leaves to Granny Topes, 3 lettuce leaves to Baskia, and then keep the other 4 for himself. And he's like, "This is keep these for you. They give you 1 hit point each. So they're like this is really cool. So but you've got to eat it like you know how rabbits go all the way up. You know, just goes up. That's how you've got to eat it for the magic to work."
Thanks.
Or you can just shove it in someone's mouth as well.
Oh, what when like to make them feel better?
Yeah.
That's great.
It only lasts 24 hours, so we'll I'll try and
I go off
try and
very
do it
quickly.
every night.
Yeah. I want to attune to the gem.
Cool. See if you can find it, or we can look at it after this. But it's called the Psi crystal, PHI crystal. But we can have a look. I might need to do something on Beyond.
Cool.
Lovely. And yeah, so moving to the end of this session, a couple of things happen. What do you do with the kobolds? As you wake up in the morning, the blizzard is still there, but it's definitely subsided. It is traversable at this stage.
I want to ask them what they want to do, if they want to go to the woods or back to the mine.
They all turn to Pignut and go,
Drex will tell us what we must do.
Where did you come from?
The mountains.
Why you go back to the mountains? Where
they
you
all
can find
look
other
to each other.
kobolds? No, you didn't like the mountains?
Well, Drex, you will remember that it is very cold and there's not a lot of food in the mountains at the moment.
Oh no. He's just going to look to Granny Topes.
What about the woods?
The woods? How do the woods sound? And you can build like little huts like Granny Topes does.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer them my house, my abode. They can have that.
okay. And as you offer it, maybe you take them there, set them
and
up.
I'll go collect my stuff.
Yes.
Take it away. So yeah.
And as you
See Baskia. I won't say that to her.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Say that. What I mean is see Sarah.
And as you sort of show them and sort of are on your leave, Crack will turn to you and go,
Lord Drex, where are you going?
Oh, unfortunately, royalty calls me away on other perilous adventures, which I wouldn't want you to be, for you to have to suffer. So, kneel, crack before your new Drex.
So they all kneel before you.
I'm going to put out celery stick, and I'm going to say, in my absence, I bequeath the dragon wings to you, Crack. Make sure you rule the clan with honor, honesty, mischief, and mayhem, but all with a sense of fun and not death and destruction. And look after Granny Topes' hut.
As you take off the wings and put them onto Crack, Tit goes, "The spirit of the dragon has passed again." As Crack stands,
I will be your master of mischief and mayhem, all with a good sense of fun.
Particularly against any of the priests of Oriel.
Oh, should we go burn their church?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, no. Apparently, yes.
We will plot, we will plan.
But don't get killed. Don't get killed.
Well, what will be, will be.
and they all start sort of planning and drawing like maps on the ground. And
Drill would be so proud, Crack.
And as you leave there, you are stopped by this short little gnomish woman, dressed in black.
Can I say good morning to her in Gnomish?
Yeah.
Ah.
What would you say in Gnomish?
Good morning, sister.
Oh, sorry. She looks at you and cocks her head.
It is not surprising that the cunning woman is very adept in a language of all kind. Cunning woman, I do not know if we have met. I am Irma Mondu. I was Orus's secretary, and before that, his mother's. I am pulling together his affairs, putting them into order, and going through the ledgers to be prepared for the next town speaker. I have one payment that needs to be paid for you, of which is just listed as one favor to the cunning woman. What would this favor be? If it is within my ability, I shall bequeath it.
Is it within your ability, Irma, to promise that sacrifice will never take place here?
You see, and she's got this veil that falls, and you can just see her lips and her chin, and you see a small smile very quickly before returning to her somberness.
I, as secretary of the town speaker here, I do have certain ways to sway and to encourage our town speakers to act in certain ways. I shall do what I can, cunning woman.
Also, thank you in Gnomish.
Do tell me, and she'll switch to common. What is it that you intend to do now? Now that you have, the debt has been paid and the mine can be reopened. What is it that the three of you intend to do?
Telepathically to Granny Topes. Kill Sefik! I can't say that out loud though, can I? Shit! Or he wouldn't swear.
It is fine if you
do not know what you wish to do.
Yeah, Erda, do you have any work available? We're a little short of cash, and we're planning perhaps a holiday to another village.
I see. Unfortunately, I am unable to relinquish any funds from the town until a new town speaker is elected, which will be over the next aurora or so. But once that election has happened, I may have work for you then. You will have to wait a few days, however.
Who murdered Oris?
We do not know, but the militia is looking into that, trying to find clues. If you do have any, you are welcome to go to the militia at this time. Someone can roll an insight check.
Oh, I'll totally do that.
Yeah.
Mm, 15.
There is a dismissive, offhanded kind of when she says that, like she doesn't believe that will come to much.
Okay, so they're not actually going to properly look into it.
Yeah.
I mean, we may need to go to Targos.
I see.
Are we sure Targos, not the Lonely Wood?
Didn't Trick say that Sefik and Torga were going to Targos?
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think you passed that on to anyone.
I think I would have done. I don't think we did that in game. I think if we retcon that, like I would have shared at some point, like that's what had happened.
Fine.
When I was telling them about
Targos. I see. Well. Ooh. Do be careful in Targos. Leans in. The church may be gaining its footing here, but it is very well wedded within the walls of Targos.
Do you have a means of travel that you could give to us, to lend us? We'll just bring it back, obviously.
You would know that on a good day, it's about a 4-hour trek to Targos.
Oh, great.
Emma,
How might we help to prevent such a foothold being taken here?
The churches have found its footing within the people. This everlasting rhyme is and must be that of divine, godly intervention of some sort or the other. And many believe, with good reason, that Oriel the Frostmaiden is the cause of this. The churches have latched on to that idea and have grown because of what the people believe. Although, it must be said, those acts of devotion have increased over the last few months since the nights of the new moon, the nights of the sacrifices throughout 10 towns have begun. I have noticed a change in the priests, a forcefulness, a drive that was not quite there before. They are no longer a passive observer, but a force with intention. What that intention is, I am unaware. But we have stood too long out in the cold of the streets. I have much to prepare for the election. Do enjoy your trek to Targos. Be safe. And thank you for your help here. You have friends here. I know that for certain.
Can I insight that? Is that supposed to be like? Is that supposed to be comforting, or is that supposed to be a threat?
Yeah, roll an insight. You have friends.
She hates
me.
No, like you have friends here. Like I know where your friends are.
Right.
Oh wow, Baskia, who hurt you?
Oh God. 15 was a natural
15.
1 and an 11.
She is she's very straight down the line from what you get. You don't have the reason to believe, although there is very little warmth sort of radiating her, deception is not something that does.
Okay, cool.
And as you depart, I think there's one other scene that we jump to as you prepare for your journey to Targos.
Oh, I might disagree with us going to Targos. We could discuss that.
Fine. Well, before your departure from Tourmaline. Drex stands with Caramel and Clyde and Marta looking around outside of the inn. And she sighs. Well, I suppose we better go then. Which is when she spots you. And a smile creeps across her face. Baskia, you did come to see us off.
Of course. Yeah, I just got a little bit tied up. Are you ready? Is everything sorted? Have you got
And you can
need?
see that there is like a semi-stretcher, semi-cart, sort of very light tied behind Caramel the axe beak. And sort of there's bags and stuff all attached to that. I think we're good. It's not a long trek to Lonelywood, just a few hours. We'll be good. I'll look after them.
Thank you.
You look after yourself as well. And,
I will.
She takes a step forwards and leans in close to you, cheek to cheek. If Sefik is the one who did this, make him suffer. Make him pay for what he and his, be it the Church of Oriel, be it some other force, but make sure they suffer. For me. And we'll kiss you on the cheek and step back.
I will. I've got this. And I'll see you all soon.
So, and she'll jump onto, she'll hoist Marta onto the axe beak and take the reins of Caramel and will walk off towards Lonelywood.
Just as she's out of earshot, just to myself, I'm just going to be like, I'm going to marry that girl.
Are me and Pignut reading her mind?
Yeah, can we?
It's telepathy, not mind reading.
You don't know.
You can roll an insight if you want.
I don't think Pignut will.
What did you roll?
Wow. Gosh. 17.
17. Roll a deception.
God damn it.
Said it out loud.
I think that's true. Picking my dice, which is a good deception dice. Not that one. 9.
9. What does she see?
Yeah, I guess
Or
because
hear.
I said it out loud, so I'm guessing you can like maybe read lips, whatever. And I just there's just a fondness. I've been very kind of matter of fact. She's been trying to be like very, these things have happened. I'm reacting to these things because like I want to be proactive and I want to do these things and fix it all. And then Trix is being so sweet and lovely, and she's like taking her family, what is essentially her family, and into safety. And you just see like like if someone just melts a little bit, just like a moment of like just genuine affection of like that is my girl.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's just that. So it's just a nice moment. Nice. She'll lace it back up again.
And as they go off and disappear into the snowstorm, the three of you are left in the center of Tourmaline with a question of what do you do next?
Also, not to, give us more to do, but we didn't talk about what we did with Drex. Because would Drex have gone with the rest of the kobolds?
Would he have listened to Pignut in his dragon wings?
No, I think as soon as he lost the dragon wings, like his sense of authority just disappeared.
Oh, great. Okay, great. So he's just fallen in line. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, cool. In which case, where the hell are we going? So I sense that you weren't super happy about going to
Targos.
Thank you, Targos.
We will become sacrifices if we go there. We are outsiders. Our lives will be very in danger.
You do know that the sacrifice won't happen for another 10 days because it's every new moon.
That's where Sephic's gone. I just feel like that's our lead.
Did no one see anything here?
I mean, we haven't asked around, to be fair.
I think we should investigate. And then kill him.
Well, he's not. I mean, that's the thing. He's not here.
Someone must have seen something. It couldn't happen in the middle of town and no one see.
That's true. That's very true.
But Pignut definitely thinks he did it. Does he, DM?
Yeah, the look that he gave you and he was waving. I'll give you just to help it along. I would say you probably see a smattering of blood across his coat.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would have told that to everyone. My fear is like, what if he kills someone else? Like in Targos?
They will in 10 days. But should we try and influence the vote here before leaving?
Oh, who do you? Oh, which vote?
The speaker.
Yeah, for the speaker.
Well, it would be bad news if it was a priest, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Should we mess with the church before leaving?
Well, Granny Toad...
Kill the priest. Burn him to the ground.
Well, we could maybe make out some little leaflets, but I have a feeling if they talk to you or even me, because people don't like talking to me, they probably won't listen to us.
Yeah.
We're not. We haven't got many. We got each other. That's all we need.
Yeah.
But I feel like we probably won't. They probably won't listen to the pearls of wisdom that we will no doubt impart.
Also,
perhaps they will listen to Erna.
That's a really good shout.
Because you did install sort of like her with an idea not to let the sacrifices happen, which would come from the church. So,
and there may be some kobolds burning a church down. Maybe
we should not be here.
We can make sure that we're out of Targos before anywhere near a sacrifice, but
are we strong enough to take on Targos? We could sneak in. No singing this time.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but you can hear that hum though, can't you?
Can I
when
hear
you
the hum?
attune to it, maybe.
Ooh, you hear this like very faint buzzing. Just really faint.
Can
Okay.
you harmonise?
I will take out my shawm and harmonise.
Yes!
And as the three of you harmonize with your shorm and
The
your
three of
voices.
us?
That's,
No.
well,
Come on,
the two of you.
Come on!
With Baskia, reluctant observer, you make your way out of Tourmaline, and next time we will arrive in Targos, where you'll all be level 3. And for the next part of this adventure. Thank you very much for joining us.